Who's with me? You are, and you are too. 2017 Buick, it's the Encore. It's got the big 1.4, needs rear brakes. So we're just gonna get right into it, as we often do. We need to find, first and foremost, a Torx bit, which I've already lost, but we got a T30 right here. I'm gonna stick that right in there. What's up, Miss O? You need me? Oh, you got my stuff. Stand by, Miss O, just a second. So we're gonna take this little guy off right here, a little noise dampener, T30 on this model. Once you crack it loose, you can give it a handy all the way to the end. So there's that. And then what you'll need is your 13 mm. We're gonna crack her loose up here. Now, this part is not for the faint of heart. You can't get your 10 on the bottom. You can if you go like this. You grab the brake hose. No, don't look, don't look, don't look. Just give it a little push. Okay, you get it out of the way. Guess what? Now you can get the box under your 10 up on there. Crack that bottom one loose. You could try your open then. You might have to tweak your brake hose just a little bit more here to get the box undone. Once you crack it loose and just spin your bottom bolt loose, leave it in the caliper. Ain't nobody says you gotta take it off. If you're doing it by the book, unhook your brake hose, do some praying that you can actually get the bleeder loose, and then, you know, you're off and running. But, or you can do it the easy way like what we did, and then take your top bolt out after that. As long as you don't look at the hose, you'll never even know you've bent it. Be sure to leave a comment though. Oh, I'm a scumbag. That's okay. Oh, man, this sucker. Come on, baby. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now pretend like you're holding it off camera and it's not being fully supported by the hose. Get yourself a little hangy tool. Wrap it around there. Put it up here somewhere where it appears that it's not hanging from the hose still, even though it may or may not be. So there. And then we've got to get after the caliper bracket bolts. They are of the 15 millimeter size. Give it that one a little tug. Give that one a little tug. Now prior to taking it off, these pins are tight, tiger tight. The bottom one is not. That should have the rubber on it, and it does, so the bottom one moves. The top one don't. Not at all. We're gonna grab an 18 mil short socket there. Before we take this off, we're gonna see, okay, that little guy moves. So that's good. What we wanna do is we wanna give it the spinneroo. We want it loose. I'm gonna put her in reverse. There you go. That's the sound we wanted to hear. Spin it till it spins free. It's a lot easier to get out when it's on the bench. Take your bottom bolt out. Set it to the side. Whoa, pick up your socket. Because you've still got to put a snap ring on your impact, even though you have piles of them. Take out your top bolt. Your bracket will come clean plumb off there, as they say. And then work on the outside bits, which are going to include, but not be limited to, sticking that right there, our T30. Okay. We gotta find that again. It's been lost in the cart. Again. Found it. May or may not come out. Oh, she just ripped my glove. My love glove. Take that baby off. That looks pretty clean. Grab yourself a whizzy wheel. Inside edge ain't look too bad. Outside's got a little rust now. Let's shine her up. Oh, try to go. Shiny. Also shiny. What's up, old girl?
How long do you have left on this vehicle?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
No.
Is it the owner?
No, I'm wondering schedule-wise.
Okay, stand by, folks. Oh yeah, it's pretty clean on the inside, so we're just gonna go over the inside with just a wire brush. You've got to clean the rust off because you don't want your rotor sitting on all wibbly wobbly. It's not a technical term, but. All right, beautiful. Spritz her down with something to keep it from getting crusty. We use the film. Slide her up on. Get your Torx bolt. Screw. Get your T30. I'll get down to setting number 1. Very lightly. Looking in service day, it's like 89 inch-pounds, I think. Take your bracket, get it blasted. Clean all the rust out where the pads go. Take your pins out, clean out those holes, clean up your pins. Break out the super lube. We're gonna start re-lubing our pins. So this is the pin that has a little noise dampening chunk of rubber on it. These can be a real son of a mother to get back in. We're gonna make sure our holes are all good and lubed up first. I don't know which one that goes in. It goes in the bottom, but we're gonna have to turn around and look at the card to get the orientation correct. Because I'm not that sharp. Let's see here. Let's see, this goes here like that, like so, and this one goes here. So this one down here is gonna be where the rubber goes. Rubber goes down the bottom. I don't think it really matters. Most people just throw them away. Anywho, so we're gonna stick our new rubber up on there. Make sure she's slicked up a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain to get in. You gotta just gentle. Just wiggle that baby in ever so nicely. We're gonna get some lube. We're gonna put it around where the rubber's gonna go to make a good seal and keep this thing from rusting around that lip again. Nobody likes a rusty lip. We'll grab a boot, stick it on the top one. Take our lubricated pin, slip it in. We're gonna take our boot here. We're gonna stick it on the bottom one. And then this is where it takes some time. I find if you lightly push and just keep going around in kind of a circular fashion, once you get it in all the way, once that rubber, well here, I guess I can pull this rubber back off here, this outer boot. Once the rubber gets in past that notch, usually everything frees up, but our tendency is to just push, push, push. But that'll push the rubber up on top of the pin, so we just kind of push lightly here. Keep wiggling. Sometimes you need to pull out just a little bit. Wiggle, twirl around. It'll go, trust me. See where we're at, so we almost have the rubber in all the way there. We're going all the way. Just keep wiggling, keep steady pressure on it. Once you see it's in there most of the way, then you can give her a couple taps. Bam! Let's get our rubber boot back up on there. And then you're good. Don't yank it back out though. Can't get a hold sucker, she's slippery. So then we can wiggle it out, wiggle it in. It's got a little bit of air trapped in there, but you can see what I'm saying. It should move easily. You should be able to take your finger and just push that little guy in. It's got some air under it. Let the air out. Away you go. So a little bit of patience. Yeah, calm down. You can get that sucker right in. And that's what we're using. Super lube. It's pretty super. Ceramic. It's good for high temps and high speeds. and high pressure. Mrs. O's got us under pressure. She runs a tight schedule around here. We're gonna lube up underneath our hardware. Make sure you're buying good hardware too, folks. I'll tell you that much. Some of the cheap stuff that comes with the cheap pads, it's pretty cheap. It ain't that good. This is good hardware. It's got the rubberized coating on the back side. It's usually non-magnetic. We can check and see. Oop, this stuff's magnetic. Oftentimes it's not. And there we go. It's paint on that side. Rubber coating on the other. Oh, mother! What an idiot. This guy can't take him nowhere. There it is, folks. Ready to rock and roll. How come my lighting always sucks? There we go. It looks great here. It looks terrible on camera. We're going to take our bolts to hold the bracket on. Shake up the tube of the gel. Today's flavor is orange. Oops. Ooh. Shot a little too big a load on that one. It'll be okay though. Bigger the glob, better the job, they say. We're going to spread that amongst the two. The orange is in between the red and the blue. Holds like red, releases like blue. At least that's what they tell us. Line this little guy up. Feel that one in. Get your other one. Missed. There's that one. Grab your Ugga gun. 15 mil. Oh, easy, easy. There's that. We're gonna torque them all the way down. I don't know what they go to, 70 something I think. Wherever I set this last, let's see, 74 it tells me. There's that one. Went a little past 78. A little more for good measure, 77. Let's go find some pads. Inside pad. It's got a squealer in this case. Squealer's going at the top. More importantly, it's got a bottom titty right here on the bottom of the pad. The outside pad does not. The outside pad has just a couple of rivets. If I had good lighting, you could see. But the inside pad is very important that it has that little peg that sticks up. You see it? I call them peg. You'll see why in a moment. So we'll slip that baby in. Fits nicely. Slip the outside one in. Fits nicely. Feels like they got some good friction. Let's clean up our caliper. Make sure it twirls in. We should have done that a long time ago, but we're risk takers. Unhook your hose. That gives the appearance of actually hanging onto the caliper. Take your caliper like this. Look for your caliper windy back tool that you never wound back. Okay, don't look real quick. Support your caliper while winding it back. Step back, rewind it back. Line her up into two pegs. The two slots. Line up your two pegs in the slots. Wind her back. Don't you be seized up, little fella. We'll twirl it in. Make sure you're not twisting up the boot. If you are, you have to get the boot crack loose. Might maybe even spray a little silicone grease there underneath it. Oh boy. You don't even want to look out there. Somebody's pulling in one of them rent me campers out there. Well, we know Robin Williams ain't jumping out of it. Am I right? That's a pretty sick joke, fella. That was a good movie, though. Bad joke, good movie. And then what you need to do, so you see how you've got the two slots in there, they need to be vertical. Okay, once you get her pushed in, because that slot's going to line up with that peg on the bottom of the pad. So right there, that bottom slot needs to be lined up on top here. Just like that, because your pad has a peg like this peg. All right, you have to close your eyes for a minute again there. Close them, open them again. We're gonna put a little dab of grease on that ear and a little on that ear. Take your finger, right index finger is the only one that works good for this. Get that on the inside of the ears here. I'd tip it and show you, but I can't. And then on the piston face. Slime her up good. It's gonna cut down on some noise, boys. Taking the liner up, right where it needs to go. We'll get your bottom one started, because that one's in there permanently, unless you want to take off the brake hose. Which here in the People's Republic of New York, I would not suggest doing that, or in any other part of the salt belt, unless you're replacing the caliper. Get that one in. Get that one in, find something to wipe your finger off if you're still going around like this. Ah, tastes like vanilla. Get your 10 mil torque wrench. Take her all the way home. Now this one you're going to torque to 21 pound-feet of torque. Double check it. Same thing. 21 foot-pounds on that little fella. I always like to do it twice. Put a little bit of lube on them threads, because these things are usually have long since disappeared by the time we do brakes on them. The aluminium on it just turns to powder. Oh great, here comes the Rent-Me camper again. You can always tell when they do the drive-by like 6 or 7 times. Face glued to the window. I don't get it. Hey, it's that guy. Snugging that baby up, however many foot-pounds is necessary. And that's it. Take down your tool that you use to simulate holding of the caliper, and you're good, man. So that's it on the rear brakes on the Encore, folks. Make sure you pump up the pedal. Check your brake fluid. Make sure your parking brake works. Do all that stuff that you're supposed to do. Follow service data. Torque things to spec. The dude that was driving the Rent-Me camper ended up being pretty cool. All the way from the UK. So we talked about mushy peas and fish and chips and drinking Guinness, amongst other things like black pudding. And I can't think of anything else right offhand. He did get a kick out of my mini video, which he thought was pretty funny. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers in the UK did, because why wouldn't they? Here's this Yankee trying to fix a car with only one reverse light. Anyhow, whatever. Questions, comments, concerns, the Insta, the Facebook. Just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.